You know, I gotta say, the Terracons were really cool villains from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. So let's go ahead and take a look at Studio Series Voyager class Battletrap. Now, for review's sake, let's take a look at the packaging. We got this wonderful picture of Battletrap there on the front, Battletrap there on the side. Can you guess what's on the other side? That's right, it is a Battletrap. On the top, Transformers Rise of the Beasts. On the back, you got all your promo stuff, robot mode, vehicle mode, 30 steps, big screen inspired, blah, blah, blah. Attack in the museum, and then the summary is Battletrap fires a barrage of blasts at Noah and Elena to secure the trans warp key. All good, fun, and well there for the packaging, so let's move right along. Of course, we do have our instruction manual that comes with the figure, which is Studio Series instructions. They're very, very vague and very hard to read. Yeah, I don't see them fixing that anytime soon, but then the only real accessory we get with this guy is his little flail piece right here, which is done in all silver, and it has some nice details. We can see all the chains wrapping around the mace and everything else, and all the little spikes and whatnot, so there you have that. Overall, truck mode here is really nice, although not without its flaws. So overall, the truck mode that we are presented with is actually very spot on to what we see in the movie. Not without its flaws again, but I'll get into that here in a second. But appreciating the details that they've managed to pack into the truck mode here. If we look at the doors, it's got Bernie's towing and auto body painted there on the side. Very nice detail. Then we come around here to the front. A lot of nice silver and whatnot. You got GMC. I like the silver and the rust detailing here on the bumper. Then the engine block is really cool. I like that detail. I really do like that aspect of the truck mode. You got the horn there on the roof of the cab of the truck. And then the back is kind of where it gets a little bit iffy for me. You have the arms hanging out on top in plain sight. There's no covering that up whatsoever. They're just kind of chilling, which honestly isn't all that bad, but it is definitely something to point out. And for me, it's a minor complaint, but just as an overall something that needs to be kind of focused on. But you do have some nice details here at the back. You got the taillights painted, and then one detail I really do like and was not expecting is that for the back tires, there are actually 4 tires all together, and they are actually independent moving tires, which is really, really neat. Just a nice little detail I wasn't quite expecting with the figure. But I mean, overall, I really do like how the truck mode turned out. Again, not perfect, but it's definitely really, really cool. Since this figure is the master of being a robot in disguise and having the hands chill out in the back, I will say one thing due to the transformation is that the arms don't really tab in anywhere specifically. They kind of just hang out, which can affect how this tow cable system sits, which it just takes some adjustment when you're transforming the figure, but it is something I wanted to point out because there is no designated tab-in point, which kind of creates some instability when messing with all that. So it's something I just figured I'd point out. Battletrap can roll pretty well. He has no real problem, no real ground clearance issues when it comes to truck mode, so you can have him chasing the Autobots, doing whatever, which is really, really nice. And you can attach the mace weapon into truck mode as well. You kind of take this bottom piece and you split it open. There's these 2 kind of slots right here that'll tab in to this peg right here. You kind of just close it over the whole tow line assembly. If I can get it to work, there we go. And you kind of just lock all that into place like so, which doesn't look bad. It's weapon storage, and, you know, he kind of does use this in the film to an extent, not exactly, but overall, it is something you can do if you want to do it.
The transformation itself isn't bad. You definitely do have to sit down and learn it at first, because it does take a second to figure it out. But once you do figure it out, it is honestly a pretty neat transformation and has some really satisfying bits to go through.
And look at what we end up with here for robot mode. Yeah, I probably should have started this review in robot mode, but due to my review format, I go from vehicle to robot mode. Because we take a look at the truck mode first and we think, oh, he's a tow truck, how evil could he possibly be? Then we get him transformed and it's spikes galore and the Doom music kicks in. Yeah, I just absolutely love the intimidating stature that the figure presents, but let's go ahead and take a look at the details. Starting at the legs here, we can see all the nice sculpted in and painted details. Look absolutely phenomenal. I like the silver on the knees. It just works really well. The feet are nicely detailed as well. We take a look at the thighs. There's just a whole lot of mechanical detail on the inside of the thighs, and on the outside we can see all these mechanical workings and whatnot. And then we move to the torso section. We can see all the nice mechanical detail, and the paint applications are crisp and on point. I really do appreciate that. We can see here on the arms you got like spikes and everything, especially here on the shoulder pads. I like how they turned out. And then we come around to the head here, and the head is amazing. I love the way this head looks. It is just one of my favorite head sculpt designs for a Transformers villain. I think that just looks so cool. We can see all the very nice details, and they've painted the red slits for the eyes, or for the visor type section, and that just looks absolutely amazing. And again, the paint is crisp and precise and just looks so nice. I really do like that head sculpt. It just looks and feels angry and evil. So as much as I love the way the robot mode looks, I definitely do have a couple of minor complaints, so let's go ahead and get the negatives out of the way. So my critique within robot mode lies with the arms. So if we take a look at the back side of the arms, we can see there's literally just a giant mount of kibble hanging off the back. This is the whole toe line assembly for truck mode that just kind of hangs off the back. Now, the back of the box says that you can kind of have him like this, using it as a weapon, which for me, it doesn't really work. I can't really see that being any form of weapon. So, I mean, it is a good amount of kibble hanging out on the backside of the arm, and it doesn't really lock in anywhere, so that is kind of unfortunate. It's not a deal breaker by any stretch of the imagination, but it is definitely something that can kind of get a little bit annoying to deal with at times. My second issue kind of lies with the way the arms sit. If you look at the shoulder assembly, it kind of sits a little bit far back as compared to the rest of his body, but it is something you would really only notice if he's sitting like this. If you have him in a pose or anything like that, you would never be able to tell. But other than that, those are kind of my two big critiques with the figure. Now, articulation on this guy is really, really quite nice. The head is on a ball joint, so you can look up and down, left and right. You do have full 360 rotation there in the head, but these pieces can kind of hinder that, so just be mindful. Arms, full 360, forward and back, outward movement. The shoulder pads have the little spikes on a little hinge, so you can move those, and the shoulder pads themselves can be articulated. Bicep swivel, over 90-degree elbow bend, no wrist swivel. You do have a full 360 waist rotation, which is really nice. Legs can kick outward, can kick forward, can kick backwards. You do have thigh rotation, well over 90-degree elbow bend.
That, my friend, is most certainly a knee, not an elbow, but please continue.
And then a ankle rocker joint. So this guy's got all the joints to pull off some really, really nice poses. You know, speaking of poses, he does have a weapon which you can attach to his fist in robot mode. You open this up and you insert this peg, focus, this peg into his hand just like so. And then he's got a flail to pose around with, which honestly looks really, really cool. I would have preferred them have like a ball and chain accessory like in the movie. Oh well, it is what it is, but it is still a really cool accessory, and I really do like it. So overall, Battletrap's an absolute joy to have in my collection. He's a lot of fun to mess around with, and no matter what pose you kind of put him in, he just looks like an absolutely intimidating brute that you most certainly would not want to go toe-to-toe with in a fight, and I absolutely love that aesthetic. It matches his faction as a Terracon so well, and overall, they did a really good job with this figure. The transformation takes some getting used to, takes some practice, but once you get used to it, it's actually pretty cool to go back and forth in between truck mode and robot mode. It's got some really cool pieces that I do like as well. So overall, really good figure. Highly recommend him if you can get him, especially if you're a Rise of the Beasts fan, because this guy does not disappoint. But guys, that's all for my video today. I hope you enjoyed. If so, be sure to leave a like, comment what you think of Battletrap and Rise of the Beast in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video from my channel. That's all for me, Champion Productions, signing off.